Hi, I'm Les. I want to start off by apologizing for the length of time it took to get this video produced. Many times the issue is that I just don't know what I'm going to say because I don't get the product from the printers. Either it's shipped late or it's excessive delays or situations like this. I had to reprint the East frame, and when I opened up the box, here's what I saw. So I'm going to show you a continuation of the last systems video. There are a number of other interesting things that are in the design phase, and you see also what is currently being printed. So let's get going. I was testing a motor controller and I noticed it was getting quite warm. So a little concerned that there's going to be 4 of them underneath the road and the temperature problem might be an issue. So I decided to not use it, which means that there's a greater demand on the computer for additional processing pins. So the upshot of the whole thing is that I'm going to a second computer. I'm going to distribute processing. The server controls all the motors and LEDs on the west end, including the bridge, and it also does all the user interfaces. It will communicate with the client. The client controls all the motors and LEDs on the east end. Here's a breakdown of the channels between the server and client. The 2 main connections between the server and client are a power bus and a communications bus. External power to the system, a 12-volt power supply, comes in through the client, will power the client, and via the power bus will also power the server. The server will send both commands and a heartbeat over to the client. An example of a command would be turn the traffic light red or lower the southeast traffic gate. When you have a server-client configuration, it's a good idea for the server to keep track of the clients. Make sure that they're all alive and well and functioning, everything is fine. So the way to do that is by sending what's called a heartbeat command. It's a simple 1-byte command that just says, "Hi, how you doing? I hope everything's okay over there." And all the client does is just respond with an acknowledgement, which is intended to mean everything's fine, don't worry about it, we're okay. So that's it. It's a simple command. It's called a heartbeat, and it should be done periodically. Underneath the real bridge is a river. Underneath this model bridge is either a picture of a river or maybe paints the whole bottom there blue or something. But one thing I didn't want to see is a bunch of wires going back and forth. So something had to be done to hide those wires. So actually I was thinking of not even using wires, but going with an RF interface, radio frequency interface, and not have any wires. But that had some disadvantages too, for not only the extra expense of additional equipment, but also there's interference issues that you have to deal with, and it's more complicated than a simple data interface using wires. So in order to use a serial data link and get rid of the wires, we had to make a change to the base. 2 channels are cut into the bottom of the base. The wires for the buses will go into the channels. Here's a close-up of one end of the channel. The bus wires will enter from above and enter the channel at the end here. They will then run down the channel to the other end, where they'll exit the channel. Then epoxy will be poured into the channel and fill it up and harden and lock those wires in place. This is the north side maintenance platform. Here's the design of the platform. Here is the east frame. I'm going to add 2 traffic gates to highlight that the motors and wires under the sidewalk are outside the frame and are clearly visible. Therefore, I'm going to add a framework underneath the sidewalk, and I'm also going to put panels on the outside surface. This whole structure is movable in the event that maintenance is needed on the motors. Here's everything that's being printed right now. There are 2 additional road panels out there to be printed, and once I get them back I'll have 4 total. That means I'll need another 3 before I have a complete movable road section. These last 2, the counterweight and the bull wheel, are for the second system. I'll need a total of 3 additional printings before I have a complete second system, and then I can do a balancing of a completed road. That's a major milestone. Hopefully, over the next 4 or 5 days, I'll get all the printing back. I'll get the base back, and it'll be nicely stained and varnished, and I can begin assembling the final system. Can't wait. If you have any questions or comments on this video, please get them to that comment section below. And a thumbs up would be nice if you enjoyed the video, and I hope you consider subscribing to my channel. And one final thought: when you stop learning, all that's left is forgetting. See you in the next video.